voyage through the Bible. We're in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. There's major cities of influence outside the Upper Peninsula: Detroit, Grand Rapids, Chicago, and Milwaukee are the towns of influence in the area. We're still on a car ferry going between the Upper Peninsula and the Lower Peninsula. We're on the Straits of Mackinac, near Mackinac Island. Just a little information. My wife's great-grandfather was in the military. He was in one of the cavalry groups when Custer had his last stand. He was there. Before he retired, he was taken to Mackinac Island as one of the officers in charge of the island. He was there and he retired out of the military there and moved to Marquette, Michigan. So we have a long history of Upper Peninsula involvement. This is a survey of a timetable that God has set from the very beginning of creation till after time will be no more. We have a plan to show you through the stories of many aspects of God's dealing with the human race. He's dealt with the human race past, and its very present, and its future. This is done in our own personal lives also, past, present, and future. We'll be looking at the enabling power of God to save the worst and the best, causing His great power to be part of all our lives. So the story of Mary and Martha. Martha is busy organizing and developing, which is not wrong in itself. But she made a complaint to Jesus, and she said, "I'm busy. Mary should help me." And Jesus said, no, she has done the very best. Mary has chosen what is better, and it will not be taken away from her. The better was she was at Jesus' feet, listening to His words. You know, the pure in heart are a giving people. They get inside the guests. They are heart-driven, pure in heart. There was a Scotch fellow from Scotland. "Oh, blessed is the man who gets right inside other people until he can see with their eyes and think with their thoughts and feel with their feelings, for he has done that will find others to do the same, and will know that God is what God has done in Jesus Christ." So the story is that God enjoys taking people and putting them into the place that another person and their circumstances. Speaking of a person, the center of their being, their soul, their mind, their will, their emotions, a pureness emerges from them. Then there's many illustrations of a pure heart, a soiled garment that has been totally cleaned. So it can be used again. Or it can be bread. You take the corn, take the wheat kernel, and you grind it and prepare it, and then it's ready to be made into bread. Or the army that has a strong training techniques to eliminate cowards and weaklings. Water purifying for drinking, metal that's heated until all the impurities are gone. In a man or woman, motives are unmixed. Unsure thoughts that lurk in us can be removed. Pure in heart demands self-examination using a telescope of God's Spirit. The Holy Ghost at work in our personhood. To keep to arriving at a pure heart has to do with God's dealing with our motives. The pure in heart in Matthew 5:8. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they will see God. This is talking about inner holiness. In Acts 15:9, he did not discriminate between us and them, for he purified their hearts by faith. In Deuteronomy 10:16, circumcise your hearts, therefore, do not be stiff-necked any longer. In 1 Samuel 15:22. But Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as he does in obeying him? To obey is better than sacrifice. To heed is better than the fat of rams. So what is God's priority? Pure in heart. If you take a can of whole milk, it's been milked and set aside, the cream will come to the top. Here's the truth. Remove the cream, and it'll make room for more cream in the same can to come to the top. The word skim milk comes from that attitude. It's milk where the cream has finally been removed. Think of this in reverse. The evil that lurks in our hearts are removed step by step. Internal purity is matched with external purity. Both are combined together. You have heard that it said, you shall not commit adultery, but I tell you, anyone who looks at a woman lustfully has already committed adultery with her in his heart. If your right eye causes you to stumble, gouge it out and throw it away. It is better that you lose one part of your body than the whole body be thrown into hell. And if your right hand causes you to stumble, and cut it off and throw it away. It is better that you lose one part of your body than your whole body go to hell. There's many applications of the word hell. The word hell can mean something as simple as you living in your own sin will cause you to have a hellish life here on earth. That's probably the worst thing we could look at least on this, within our own lives. Mourning and purity of heart are coupled together. They're coupling points. In John 15:3, you are clearly clean because of the word that I've spoken to you. In 1 John 1:7, but if we walk in the light as he is in the light, we have fellowship with one another, and the blood of Christ, his Son, has purified us from all sin. A clean heart is to be a progressive cleaning. We've been talking about the cloth that is dirty and it should be cleaned, and the winnowing of chaff on wheat, and how it is removing the chaff and leaving the kernel of corn. In an army, that time they need to have the best, they winnow out the cowards. The gold impurities were removed by fire. Wine was not diluted, it was considered pure. This is talking about men and women who are not mixed. It requires us to experience a progressive sense of selflessness in the Lord. pure do see God. Speaking about being cleaned as a confidence in 2 Timothy 2:22. Flee the evil desires of youth and pursue righteousness, faith, love, and peace, along with these who call on the name of the Lord with a pure heart. Pure will see God now and in the future.